We are not as reliant on oil and energy from the Middle East as we were back in the 70s, and yet oil prices clearly very focused on what is going on in the Middle East. Put all of that in some context for us.
Sure. I mean, yes, I think what you said is correct. You know, when you look at where we are now, you look at what's happening with the shale production in the United States, you look at production from other regions, even Russia is still exporting quite a bit. All those things together do pose, you know, a different kind of picture, right, on the world. We're not going to be lining up at gas stations trying to get oil. We're not in a situation where there could be mass shortages. Instead, we're looking at, you know, supply shocks that could still have impact on prices and cause some difficulties for refineries and customers, especially if prices continue to rise. You know, the Middle East is still a major producer of oil, and if there is any impact, be it Iran being pulled in to this conflict and the U.S. having to put you know, stronger sanctions on that exporter, which would reduce supply into the market and push prices higher, then yes, that is going to pull everything up, and that is the risk and the fear. But when you look at the price action, you know, we're a bit near, you know, $95 per barrel for Brent. Yes, we are higher, much higher than we were maybe a few months back. But we aren't, you know, where we were last year, where we were, you know, hitting $120 levels for Brent. So while there is fear in the market that's pushing this up, and the risk of supply disruptions could push things higher, we're not seeing a panic, as it were.
Stephen, I want to bring you outside your normal wheelhouse of energies to the broader commodity universe, gold. So dollar stronger, yield surging. It's a perfect environment for gold to collapse, but yet it's rallying by, according to our colleague Cameron Christ, the risk premium being added to gold since the start of this crisis is $13 to $15 per day extra. Do you think this surge in gold is nearly complete, or is there much more to come?
You know, I think there are folks saying that you could see a bit more of a gain here for gold. I think when you look at it's the same story for oil. When you look at the situation, this is very much driven as well by this sort of risk, and people want to get into something and invest in something that can help them and avoid any sort of risk when it comes to a wider conflict, and people are piling into gold. Whether it will be able to continue this rally, that's a really good question, and while not my wheelhouse, I think there is a view that as this continues, and if Iran is pulled into this conflict, and if you do see the U.S. and Iran kind of getting at it, at least in sort of a proxy war sort of situation, you could see gold continue to rise higher for the time being.